Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. Today we'll discuss our halacha on this week's Parsha, Parshas Ki Seitzei. In this week's Parsha we find something very special about the Jewish people, about Bnei Yisrael. And it shows us how special we are. We have many halachas that come about because we have a strong connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Torah says, Ki Hashem Aleikecha mishalech bekerev machanecha, that the Eibishter walks amongst Klal Yisrael, amongst our camps, lahatzilcha, to save us, v'laseis eivecha lefanecha, to give us in our hands our enemies, and therefore, because Hashem is with us, Hashem is amongst us, v'haya machanecha kadosh, your resting place, your camp should be holy, v'layira b'cha ervas davar v'shav me'acharecha. And make sure that it shouldn't see ervas davar. Literal translation means a shameful act, a shameful thing. No disgusting thing should be in your camp. And if chas v'sholom that happens, v'shav me'acharecha, Hashem might return, chas v'sholom. As the Gemara brings in Saita, the Gemara says, B'tchila, Amrav Chista, B'tchila, originally, Kaidem Shechati Yisrael, before the Yidden sinned, Rachman Lotzlan, the Eibishter was dwelling amongst every individual. Shenemar, Ki Hashem Aleikecha mishalech bekerev rachanecha. But Kivan Shechatu, once they sinned, Rachman Lotzlan, Nistalke Shchina mehem, the Shchina left them. Shenemar v'layira b'cha ervas davar v'shav me'acharecha. So what is the pasuk telling us? That there is a positive point of being a machane kadosh, that the Yidden have to make sure that everything amongst us is holy, and the negative thing is stay away, making sure v'layira b'cha ervas davar. What is the ervas davar? So many dinim of erva, of arayis we learn from here, but the Sipurnu brings a special, interesting halacha. The Sipurnu says that when it comes to a machane kadosh, you have to make sure that there's no ervas davar, no pisul bezera, that the lineage, the yichus amongst the people, amongst the children, are kadosh. As Chazal say, she'ein hashchina shoira ela al mishpachos meyichasis shebi Yisrael. The Shechina will dwell on pure and kedusha, holy mishpachos meyichasis, the good ones amongst Klal Yisrael. And that is perhaps the connection between Machanecha Kadosh and Lo Yira B'cha Ervas Davar. Machanecha Kadosh, holy, is the positive point, and therefore because Hashem is always in our mind and always in our presence, we have to act that way. So therefore the Gemara says that Rabbi Bachana said, name Rabbi Yochanan, Hashem is amongst us. Wherever you are, you're allowed to think Torah. You walk on the street, you're allowed to think Torah. In your home, obviously. In your shul, obviously. Chutz mi beis hamerchetz mi beis hakisei. Diksiv v'hoya machanecha kadosh. Now this is up for discussion, because when you talk about the Hilchos Birchas HaShachar, for example, and you have to make the bracha of Birchas HaTorah before you do the act of learning. So there's a discussion, how about if I'm only going to think Torah? Do I have to make the bracha of Birchas HaTorah first? So the Alter Rebbe brings in the Hilchos Birchas HaShachar Simon Mem Zayin, that Amahara b'divrei Torah ain't tzarich levarich. Somebody who is just thinking Torah doesn't have to make the bracha first, and even more so, even if you're thinking of a psak din, or you're giving a psak din to somebody, but you're not giving the reasons for the psak din, you don't have to make the bracha before saying the psak din. And later on he goes on to discuss how about writing, could a person write without thinking what he's saying or what he's writing, and does he verbalize what he's writing? But we see that there's a difference between thought and speech. For thinking Torah, you don't have to make the bracha first, and for speaking Torah, you have to. Yet, over here, the halacha is that b'chol makom muter laharer. But Parshas Ki Seitzei, because that's lacking in the Machna Kodesh, a holy camp, that's not Mokim Tar, you shouldn't even be Maharer B'Torah. The lesson is Gavaldi. The lesson is that a Yid has to know that wherever he is, he has to create, and he is a Machna Kodesh. Hashem Alekecha Mishalech B'Kerev Machanecha. Yeshikoyach, and please join us again next week.